Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome to Freshly Grounded. This episode is with Silverback AJ. The episode focuses for the most part on training during Ramadan, your diet during Ramadan, eating, what you should have for suhoor, what you should do for iftar, when you should train. He kind of mentions different times to train depending upon what your goal is. If your goal is to lose weight, train at a certain time before or after iftar, and likewise for if your goal is to kind of build. So yeah, this is a really interesting episode for those who want to kind of keep in shape during Ramadan and maintain their health and maintain their gym sessions, and kind of not fall off track with their meals and cheat meals and stuff. So it's a very, very interesting episode, guys. And I know you guys will enjoy it because you loved the last episode with Ajmal. So without any further ado, this is Freshly Grounded with Silverback AJ.
And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast by best friends Faizu and Sam.
Huh?
I said welcome to Freshly Grounded,
No, after that bit.
the brand new podcast
And after that bit?
by best friends Faizu and Sam.
Really?
So let's talk Ramadan, bro, because Ramadan's coming up.
Inshallah.
Let's go straight into it.
We almost gonna make it to another Ramadan.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Yeah, can't wait.
Health and fitness is a big thing for people in Ramadan.
Yeah.
Some people may have like recently started the gym, and so they don't want to like fall off of the gym.
Yeah.
And so Ramadan can be that time where either they take a month out, but then after that they got a lot of catching up to it. It just seems like a mountain. So you think I'm not going to do it, and then you've completely fall off gym. Or I suppose that's kind of the main thing, like people being consistent with Ramadan. What do you advise normally?
So first of all, I think it's very important for me to say, and as well as everyone else, that Ramadan, make sure that ibadah is your priority, number one priority. Like you have to make sure that's priority. But at the same time, that doesn't mean, like you just said, don't make that a reason for you to fall off your regimen. So basically use Ramadan to really get close to Allah. And at the same time, obviously you can't do 24/7 ibadah. That'd be amazing if you could, but it's not realistic. And then just a bit of time that you do have, yes, spend that time in the gym, spend that time, just eating better and whatnot. And don't use Ramadan as a way of just really falling off in terms of your health and fitness, because it happens to a lot of us. One, they don't eat enough. Two, they eat too much and they gain weight. A lot of people, I don't know what, maybe people can comment or whatnot and think what happens to them more. Do they gain weight or they lose weight? But I think most people actually probably gain weight in Ramadan.
What do you do?
I think I gain weight as well because I eat so much.
Really?
Yeah, man. And I think it's very important that you just stay consistent with how much you eat mainly. And training wise, cut your training shorter. 45 minutes, I would say 30 minutes, 45 minutes, do lots of supersets, drop sets, in and out of the gym, quick.
And there's often a debate about like before iftar or after iftar. How do you find your body's?
Yeah, there's two scenarios there. So obviously before iftar, your body's in a fasted state. And when you're in a fasted state, your body attacks the fat cells first when you work out. So a lot of people that want to lose weight, I would say to them, train before they break their fast. The people that not too concerned about losing weight, they can train after. But then again, it's a bit tough for us because like we got 5-hour window now. Yeah,
I didn't realize it was so specific like that. Like you can actually like kind of manipulate your training times according to the goal that you have, and it would actually make a difference.
You can, no, it's just not proper significantly, but you can to an extent that like if it's weight loss, you hit the fat stores first, and inshallah like you can actually lose some fat, unwanted flabs.
So do you train any less in terms of like the amount of days that you train when you train Ramadan?
I don't know if I should be a good example, because me personally, I pretty
you're a
much
professional athlete basically.
Nah, not even that. It's just like, because I've been training for a while, yeah. So what I'm saying is like, I wouldn't use myself as an example, but I don't change in my training at all. I literally still try and go heavy, still just try and do everything exactly as I would. And inshallah, just see how it goes. But for the layman and the person that's not that experienced, I would definitely say shorten it, maybe make it more intense maybe. Not so much intense, just make it shorter and just be in and out of the gym sooner, because, your body ain't used to it and whatnot, and, you don't want to really faint or anything, so...
So am I right in kind of thinking that Ramadan is more so a month of maintenance rather than like building up new...
You hit the nail on the head. I would definitely say Ramadan is more so, like it's most likely the majority of people, their goal should be to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's not impossible. You can still make progress during Ramadan, which is something I'll talk about in a bit. But like for the majority of people, the goal should be to maintain. For
Okay.
sure, 100%, man.
Do you personally train before or after Ramadan? Iftar?
So that's the thing. Like when I used to do 9 to 5,
Yeah.
it was before,
Okay.
and then ever since going down the more, doing your own thing, it's after. My
Okay.
whole day kind of flips. It's kind of bad.
Yeah.
So for example, I just stay up until Fajr
Uh-huh.
and then sleep, and I wake up.
No.
before
Oh,
Dhuhr.
during Ramadan.
Yeah, during Ramadan.
Sorry,
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you just stay up for Fajr normally.
No. Come on. And then so then stay up till Fajr, and then I'm up before Dhuhr, and just do like
But
that.
I think that's the way forward, man. I think when you have just like you mentioned 5-6 hours of the night is so short here in the UK right now during the summer. You lose it, and you lose it if you don't sleep. If you sleep, I suppose you could sleep 1 or 2 hours. And like you mentioned, some people, for the most part, do a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Or most people, even if you don't do a 9 to 5, you have to be up early, and so it's not always easiest.
It's not, man. It's difficult. A lot of people do fall off in terms of fitness and whatnot when it comes to
Yeah.
Ramadan. But this is why me and my boy, Healthy Mindset, inshallah, we're launching our fitness brand very soon.
Leonine.
Leonine Training.
What does Leonine mean?
So Leonine means lion like training. And for those that want to know where the name came up with, me and Lats were proper struggling to come up with a name. And like, what can we call it? One word is better than 2 or 3. What, you know what I mean? So like, a brand name should be one word. And then I thought to myself, I don't know how authentic the story is. Some people might disagree, but from what I read, basically when Alexander the Great was conquering the world, he got to Afghanistan,
Okay.
and then he literally wrote a letter to his mother. So I don't know how authentic this is, but this is what I read,
Sure.
It was on the internet, and then he wrote a letter to his mother, and basically he failed at a certain part of Afghanistan, and then he wrote a letter to his mother saying, "Mother, I've come to the land of the Leonine," which means lion-like people.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, wow, that's a sick name. I was like, you know what, mix that up with training. You know, a lot of people like to add that personification of lions to training, you know, to us training and whatnot. So I thought, you know what, Leonine training, lion-like training. So what do you think?
I like the name.
Honestly.
No, I like the name.
Alright.
I think you came to us with loads of names, didn't you?
I was
Like
loads.
when
And
you were telling
you
me
hated
at
all
the
of them.
beginning, I hated all of them.
Do you remember?
yeah.
Every single one, you were like, nope.
But did I say that I hate Leonine?
I don't think we had Leonine then. No,
No.
we didn't. I didn't come to you, Leonine.
I like that name.
Do you remember the one you kind of liked, but we then later thought it doesn't make sense? So
What was
basically,
it?
my gram name is Silverback AJ, and Lats is Healthy Mindset, right?
Yeah.
So we came up with, do you remember? Silver Mindset. That
Oh
was-
yeah.
That was
I didn't like that.
It didn't make sense.
Nate
then-
Nate doesn't like that. By the look of his face.
And then you were like, why can't you have a gold mindset? Like, why is it?
Did I say that?
So, yeah.
That's what I thought just now as well when you said it.
So
Which
like,
one?
so then, alhamdulillah, like Leonine was born. So basically,
Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah khair, my brother. Thank you very much. So-
The finest water.
Alhamdulillah, so good. And then you want, mate? and then what was I gonna say? Inshallah, for the live Freshly Grounded.
Yeah, so we should say that we're recording this before the live episode that we're doing.
Yes.
This episode that we're recording right now is either going to go out just before the live episode or just after.
Or just after.
We don't know yet.
Okay, inshallah.
But so you're launching it at the
Hopefully on the day of the podcast, live podcast, or a day before. But I really want to like have the audience like see it and whatnot, and inshallah be like a little grand launch, if you like.
So, but let's talk about, because even though you're launching it then, let's still talk about kind of what you guys are going to offer. Because I think a lot of people have seen Ajmal and Lats together for a very long time, so in years now.
Right, bro,
and you guys have needed to do something together where you can kind of cement it into some sort of something that's accessible to people in general, but also something that you guys can capitalize on a financial level, man. Like being able to turn it into a business.
Long time coming.
It'll be stupid not to. So I'm happy with that. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that, man. Inshallah. Me and Lats initially started speaking about collabing, like doing business together, like probably maybe even 3 years ago. Smart. Look at that. Allah's timing in it. Like we went back, you know the story, like back and forth, so many different options and whatnot. And then finally now, alhamdulillah, we've kind of like cemented it down. And so basically what Leonine Training is going to provide, like, it's not just a fitness brand. Inshallah, we want to make it a lifestyle brand to show people like, and obviously our audience is Muslims as well, but by default, it's going to be Muslims, but we kind of want it to be everyone, but the niche is the Muslims. And I don't know if you agree, but would you agree that there's no proper social media fitness influencer that appeals to the youth in the Muslims. Did I say that twice? In the Muslim scene, yeah. Like there's no one doing it in the Muslim scene.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, from what I know, I'm not involved in the Muslim scene. Sorry, in the fitness scene at all, really.
Yeah.
But
you know, the Muslim scene, really?
From what I know, yeah, you're right. If anyone was to ask me about kind of fitness people, I would say Ajmal Alerts.
Yeah,
but that's because obviously I know you guys.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But so basically, we want to take that market, inshallah, and then the brand itself. So look, again, it's going to be a lifestyle brand. There's going to be various YouTube content, workout videos, advice videos, do's and don'ts in the gym. Obviously, the website will have various like training plans, diet plans, and most importantly, with Ramadan coming up, we're launching Ramadan plans. With very good, like the diet plan is going to have a lot of variation to it, so that people can really stay on top of their fitness goals as well. It will all be on the website, inshallah. And yeah, man, I'm very excited, man. We're very excited to launch it, man.
Yeah, well, I think that you're being quite humble in saying that it would be or that you guys kind of have a niche that you guys appeal to, because we shouldn't forget about the accomplishments that both of you guys have just in the mainstream.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that it's not just for a specific audience that you guys are successful in. You guys are very successful in what you guys do because you guys work very hard. And I think that people notice that straight away and they cling to it, man, because it's not, it is rare now, maybe, to see people so determined, and have such tunnel vision with what they want to do. And I think with Ajmal and with Lats and yourself, you see that a lot. Yeah. So and like I said, you can see by the kind of awards that you guys have won, the kind of people that like to associate themselves with you and Lats. You can see that. So I think that you'll be surprised in how much it also appeals to non-Muslims.
I hope so, inshallah, man. Like it's been a long time coming. So.
But
you know what's funny? Sorry,
go ahead.
It's just like, you know, cause like I just come from a class last week, Islamic class, and they were like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to, like, you know, when someone like compliments you, they say you shouldn't compliment, compliment, but in their face, and you just like, I was just thinking about the class, and I was like, you know, it's apparently it's not good because it can like. Yeah,
we were told something similar when we had our
it's proper like awkward, like, not awkward, but you know what I mean.
But it's good that it's awkward, man. Like it's good that we're shy about it. It's good that you're shy about it. Ustad Jamal was giving us a tarbiyah lesson, over a few weeks. Every week he would come and give us a tarbiyah lesson, and one of the weeks the lesson was about compliments, like you mentioned, but not with regards to whether they're good or bad, because I think everyone speaks about that, but he mentioned how to deal with compliments.
Okay.
And it was amazing, man. Like what
did he say? Yeah.
First of all, it's so amazing to get tarbiyah lessons from someone like Ustad Jamal, who himself has such an amazing character. Like when you're around him, his character is just beyond. It reminds you so much of that hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is described as someone who anyone that meets him, that person feels like they're his favorite person.
Yeah.
And that's what Ustad Jamal is like. When you meet him, it feels like you're his favorite.
Very sincere.
So many people have told me that, man. And people bumped into him out and about, and he's like, "Assalamu alaikum, how amazing it is to see you. Wow, making dua for them." And so when he was telling us about compliment, he basically said that you should never accept a compliment. In the sense that you should never. Someone compliments you, you should never be like, yeah, like, true. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. So you don't know how to respond. You should never accept it. Yeah.
You should also try and, kind of almost over-compliment that person back.
That's a good... but doesn't that add fuel to the fire kind of thing?
Look, you got to be conscious of it because it's not haram to compliment. Do you know what I mean? And obviously we're not going to go into like the fiqh of it, but my point is that yes, you have to be conscious of like praising someone too much to their face. However, there's also like ways of uplifting your brothers and doing stuff with wisdom, etc.
That's different. No, uplifting them and stuff. No, that's 100% I agree.
Yeah, so he said he said some other things. I can't remember what exactly they were. But he's basically teaching us how to kind of be the best person that we can be. And he said that, I mentioned it before in the podcast, but one of his quotes that I really loved is, when you meet someone, when you greet someone, you should shake your hand. You should shake their hand with your right hand, and you should take their heart with your left.
Explain
his
that.
His point is basically that you should steal that person's heart. Like your character should be so good that they fall in love with you. And he said the only reason I mentioned the left is because that's the only other hand, because you should shake someone's hand with your right, in the sense that you shouldn't even take, like, obviously because the left hand is what we do, like nasty stuff. So ideally, obviously, if you shake their hand with the right and take the heart with the right, but his point was like that it should be so synonymous. Like as soon as you greet them, you should take their heart. Like your character should be so beautiful. At the minute you're shaking their hand, that you're busy shaking their hand without them even knowing. With your other hand, you've taken their heart.
Okay, I got you.
And that was one of the best, like most amazing quotes that he hit us with.
One I remember is when two believers shake hands, their sins fall off.
Amazing.
Like trees, leaves of a tree.
Like leaves of a tree.
I love that one.
SubhanAllah.
So let's say just hold on for as long as you can.
I wonder how things is blown up. Yeah, I had that one. I think character is something that's amazing, and I think it's definitely something that all of us always need to work on. And one of the most beautiful things is having people in your life who will tell you when your character is not on 100. And
you always need them people to like keep you grounded and kind of like keep you in check.
To be honest, those people generally tend to be your family or like your wife, because even with friends.
Don't try to twist this around to the wife question now.
We're going to that topic now. We had enough of the wife topic on the last episode.
Enough of that one, man.
Yeah. But a lot of the time it's your family or your wife, and I think it's because
I'd say your close brothers as well.
Perhaps your close brothers, and you're right. Your close brothers should be like that. However, a lot of the time still, you might not feel comfortable to tell your friend something that's a very like...
I agree,
there's levels. Like I probably could say to you, Ajmal, you need to fix this or fix that. Or maybe when you came into the room and you shook my hand, you should have probably shaken everyone's hand. It's little things like that.
But just to be clear, I shook everyone's hand.
Yeah, you didn't do that, but I'm just saying, like as an example.
But now, right, Nate? I shook your hand as well, right?
But I won't use you as an example. But let's say, for example, random brother. As much as I might be feel comfortable to say that, I probably wouldn't feel comfortable to say, bro, sometimes you come across a bit arrogant. That's harsh. And that stings.
So are you saying your wife could say that to you? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, definitely. And my sister,
she should be able to say that.
So, because that's the kind of stuff where it's like, oh, when you do this, maybe you come across arrogant. And because that topic is a tough one.
I think that person, you need that person in your life.
Yes,
100%.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have that person that's really true to you, that can lead you,
and it allows you to reflect. If you need to, like you mentioned, you need to be honest enough to reflect it upon yourself and say, well, I'm not an arrogant person. I don't think I'm arrogant. So what is it that's making me come across arrogant? And I remember I had a similar conversation with my sister once, and she said, like, when you come across a bit in a certain way, when like when there's lots of people around, you don't talk as much and stuff like that. And
you don't talk as much when there's
right,
Really?
And that sounds surprising, doesn't it?
I don't think so. I don't notice that.
I know, but I think it's because when I'm around the brothers, there's energy and you're excited and you're feeding off everyone's energy. But put yourself in a situation where you're around people that you don't necessarily know too well, or you're not so interested in it. So I reflected and I thought, oh, subhanAllah, when I'm very energized and motivated by the people around me, I'm in a really good mood. I feel like giving off a lot as well. And then when I'm in a situation where I don't feel like mentally stimulated,
you're quiet.
I go quiet.
But I think that's quite normal. I think everyone would be the same.
I get a bit bored. But it could come across arrogant. It could come across like I'm better than these people, which is not the case.
No. But the thing is, there's a fine line between arrogant and cockiness and confidence. So I think there's a fine line between that. Maybe not so much a fine line, but like it's quite. It could be distinguished quite clearly. Like if the person knows you, they will know you're pretty confident. But if they don't know you, then they'd probably think it's cockiness and whatnot. Would you agree?
Yeah, I also think that it comes across a bit in a way that when I'm on the podcast or around the brothers or around my family, etc., I'm probably so energized all the time, and the stuff people see on videos of me, I'm so energized that if people was to see me not at some points not energized, it looks like, oh well, that's not Faisal's personality. So his personality is that he's always energized. So
I would just think signs up, or I think you're just bored.
But people have different emotional states and stuff. It just reminded me of something that's just slipped my mind, but it was. It was something to do with this. This is what I was going to say. I think one thing that a lot of people are challenged with, and I think that a lot of people who are listening to this will be challenged with it, is there are some people who are just reserved people, and they're such beautiful people and the kind of the best type of people, because we know that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there's a hadith that mentions along lines of kind of speak only when you have something good to say, isn't it?
Or remain silent.
Or remain silent.
Yeah, remain silent if you have
And I'll check that. I think that's a hadith,
Okay,
right?
I'm not sure. but
Or speak little or something like that. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's actually an admirable characteristic. So people who are reserved like that and only speak when they need to,
yeah.
that's something to admire. But I think a lot of reserved people are probably mistaken to be arrogant, which is obviously not nice.
I personally think my experience in that is when someone's reserved, I completely think the opposite. I would never think they're arrogant.
Oh
if they're
really? You
reserved.
think they're shy?
I just think they're shy, or I just think like
Rude.
or
Yeah.
see.
Oh, not rude.
Not rude or rude.
Yeah.
See, honestly, for me, it's complete opposite. If someone's reserved and quiet, I just take that as a positive thing.
There's someone
I never take it as negative.
I'm thinking of it more so in that there's someone personally in my family who I know is a very reserved person.
Yeah.
And they get mistaken sometimes for being arrogant, but they're just very reserved.
I would never take it that way.
Well,
I just honestly,
imagine you're in a room with someone and
I personally, like, by default, it always happens. I always really end liking that person that's reserved.
yeah,
I always like whenever I always speak well of them. When, like, you should do it anyway, but I'm saying whenever, like, I'm in another gathering, I would mention, oh man, the brother's like so humble, mashallah, like, he's always quiet, like. I take it as such a positive thing when someone's like that.
I think it's so cool when people uplift other people when that person is not there. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because well, it's so common to see. Let's say, for example, me. Right now, there's three of us in the room. Me, you, and Nate. Yeah. It could be common to see when there's people in a room and then there's another person not there, for people to backbite, etc., gossip. So it's so amazing when there's three of us in a room and we're saying, bro, shall I tell you what? I love lads for the sake of Allah. You know what I mean? Like, have you seen when he does this? What a beautiful characteristic. It's like, wow, you got nothing, you got no one to impress because he's not here. You're not trying to, you're literally just praising him
just because
while he's not here, just because you want to tell the brothers that this is an amazing brother. Do you know what I mean?
You
I think
actually
that's
appreciate
amazing.
him. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. We should definitely, and that should be something that's promoted more. Just speaking good of people.
Yeah. He's an amazing brother. I just thought of that.
there is a lot of negativity in the world, though, man. There's a lot of negativity, and unfortunately, and so many people speak about this, but unfortunately social media really allows for a lot of kind of trolls and negativity to just like flourish. Do you find that you get more positive than negative? Do you get a lot of negative? Do you notice the negative?
You know what, alhamdulillah, lately, like, just generally throughout ever being kind of on like a public platform a little bit, I've always like had quite a positive reaction. Like, it's kind of weird because, like, maybe, like, back in the day, obviously, I used to, like, not take the aura thing seriously. Yeah. But even then, it was surprising. I would have thought, like, because I thought, like, my audience was mainly Muslim, and I think it is. I never really had anyone mention it to me that much. And subhanAllah, like I'm kind of still battling it now. Like, I sat down with a few students of knowledge and a few of my close brothers that are, you know, that pretty practicing, mashallah. And they were advising me, like, to say, like, bro, man, just, even though your aura's covered, it's a haya thing, like, still try not to be topless, which I fully get. And then the thing is, it's like, I was in a bit of a dilemma. So actually, there was a lot of brothers in this room when I was speaking about this. I might as well mention it here as well. I said to them, look, before, no one knew about the aura thing, like, especially the youth. They didn't know anything about it, yeah? But ever since I started, like, if I did have a topless video or whatever picture, but my aura's intentionally covered, it made a lot of the youth or whoever question it. They were like, and a lot of other brothers actually that wouldn't ever even mention it, they would comment and be like, mashallah, you know, keeping the aura covered. And then that, in essence, like, by default, is really informing the youth about the aura thing. And before, my page never did that, but now, alhamdulillah, like, it's really letting the youngers realize that this is actually a thing where we should do. And I'm actually quite happy about it, but at the same time, like, then there's the haya thing. So even though the aura's covered, you're still topless. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to, it's like a battle of mine. So I'm trying to rectify, inshallah.
But I think that in itself is super powerful, that people come to your page and then they notice the aura thing and then they make a change within themselves.
Yeah, I hope they do. You know, it seems like they do. Like, a lot of people question it, and then it sounds like they're taking it on board, inshallah. So
that's powerful, man. That's powerful.
Yeah.
We're always gonna have our own battles internally that people are not going to know about, and we're always trying to, like, better ourselves on. And making progress is obviously always the key. Looking back and realizing that you've come a long way. But I think that I think you do have a very positive. You do have a very positive impact on the youth. I think you can see it. You're not
enough of the praising. He was going again.
I was going to say this podcast about Ajmal. Nah, we won't praise, but
No, I get you.
When you're putting content out,
Yeah,
you could choose to put out content that could be inspiring drama.
Yeah.
You could do that.
What do you mean? But
Just drama, I hate when people do this. I hate when this happens.
Oh, okay.
This.
I got
And you just feel, and almost people get your vibe of just being shouty at everything.
Yeah.
And then that's how you're gonna be perceived, right? But I think it's clear that you kind of stay away from stuff like that.
Try to, yeah.
Which is powerful.
Yeah.
And even though there's a lot going on in the fitness scene that
even the fitness scene, that comes with a lot of fitness, because like everyone else, but this one, I'm going to try and use it to our advantage in the sense that like everyone at some point like just ends up like they use music in their videos. You know what I mean? Like they use the music in their videos, they're topless and whatnot, and then maybe they go to events that are not really appropriate. Do you know what I mean? Like some of these expos, for example, they're proper like free mixing, and there's a lot of women there and whatnot, and it's like it comes with a lot of fitna. But this is where me and Latsa, we're going to try our best, inshallah, like with Allah's help, of course, that we can differentiate ourselves from the usual fitness people. And I'm not saying like we're just going to be pure like it's still going to be fun, like it's going to be proper motivating, inshallah, it's going to be proper on point, but we just want to be different in the sense that like no one's going to do it like the way we've done it so far. So everyone just does it the usual way, where they're just like, you know, training video here and there, this and that. We want to kind of do it so that we really target our audience, the Muslims and the masses, and then they can really learn a lot. And on top of that, I just think like, I don't know if I should say it now, but we're going to be releasing like clothing line that's specific to like, I don't know if I should say it, but basically it's going to be good, like inshallah, yeah, it's going to be good. So it's just going to basically support and aid our message. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's strong as well, man. You mentioning kind of not attending expos that are not ideal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that's also so cool, because right now we're living in a day and age where you can do that.
It's so easy to do it.
Yeah, now with everything being online, you can still make a big name for yourself by just being at your home and then gym, and then home and then gym, and then home and then gym, but because you're producing content online.
Yeah.
Whereas before, in order to even get your name out there, you have to enter competitions.
Yeah.
You have to go to expos. You have to physically be there. You have to put yourself in places.
Don't get me wrong.
Physically,
you still have to network.
Of course,
you still have to network.
But it's a lot easier now.
Yeah,
it's a lot easier.
It is easier.
And when you have clout on social media in your field, a lot of people come to you as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, man, it's powerful, man. It's powerful. I think it's very strong. I know I've used the word powerful a lot, but I do love the kind of vibe that both of you are going for, and it's definitely needed. And like I mentioned before, I think the fact that you guys have hit certain achievements on a mainstream level, and then you're able to provide that to the Muslims as and say to them, look, this is what we've tried and tested. This is what works. This is what doesn't work. This is what works with your guys' diet. This is what doesn't work with your guys' diet. And it'll be really cool to see if you guys kind of do some collaborative work with people like Sunnah Remedies, for example, to go into the whole diet side of things.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? To combine training with diet.
Collabing will be a big part of the brand. You have to nowadays. You've got to collab to carry on growing and to learn from other people, because obviously you don't know everything, and you're always going to meet people in the world that are going to teach you things, and inshallah they can learn from you as well. And together, man, you just grow.
It'll be so powerful to see a video.
Everybody eats.
It'll be so good to see a video of you, Omar, and you guys, Omar and Sunnah Remedies, all in the same room, and like it's just like a fat health show. And the fat is probably the worst word to use, but a big health show, and like you're talking about like the whole the best things for health and fitness and strength, and Sunnah Remedies he's adding to it in regards to the nutrition side, and then Omar's cooking it all.
That would actually be pretty cool.
Have you tasted any of his food?
Bro, Omar's cooking is a fitna for me, bro.
Have you tasted it?
I haven't tasted it, but
oh no way.
Well, like, he's gonna probably listen to this, and he said he promised.
Omar doesn't special guy. I spent enough time with him, bro.
But he said he promised he's gonna invite the boys over for dinner.
But shall I tell you what's funny
Bro,
about
did you
Omar
see
is
his
that
chicken pie the other day?
yeah, he's an amazing
Oh,
chef, amazing
so good.
chef. Allahumma barik.
Mashallah. I mean,
But the funny thing is though, because he's kind of like put himself out there now as like
Yeah.
the fact that he loves cooking.
bro, he's
it's-
become a chef, bro.
It's so well. What's so funny is that now when people go to his house, they're like going to his house,
They expect-
and then Omar will be like, "Oh, all the boys around, let's order pizzas
And you'd
or
be like,
something," and everyone's like, "But you cook all this amazing stuff, and
he
you're
just
not
does it
cooking."
for the gram.
Right, but for him, like when all the boys are around, it's time for him to kind of relax, right? Even though he finds cooking his relaxing thing,
Because most
but
of the time he's doing it for family and his
doing it
in-laws
for family,
and whatnot.
he enjoys it. But I think the whole reason he loves cooking so much is because he does it when there's no pressure.
It's true.
So he's creative and this and the other.
That's
So
true,
when
that's
like
true.
the boys come around, it's 8 man to feed.
Yeah,
he's thinking,
that's a bit mad.
this is just like this is
Yeah,
gonna be fun.
that's
Allow it.
true.
Let's order pizza. And everyone's like, oh, and now we come to Omar's house for food.
It's proper anti-climax.
Yeah, it's fun though because sometimes he'll roll to the office and he'll be like, "Oh, bro, I was testing this thing, so I made some for you," and then he'll
Is it good?
he'll be, bro, 100% of the time.
Mashallah.
Yeah, I love Barak. I don't know what he was never into cooking like that, you know.
That's
Before
what I'm saying. It's
When I
literally the
was
last like, year.
Yeah,
I've kind of noticed it.
when I lived with him before, and so when I lived with him before, he wasn't into cooking. He wasn't
Yeah.
into cooking at all. He would experiment with little things here and there,
Mm.
but definitely not to the level that he's
The
at now.
plans that obviously that are going to be provided with the brand, like I've kept them very simple because I personally think simplicity is key. Like obviously Omar uses lots of spices and whatnot, but obviously when you're serious about like fitness goals and whatnot, I'm not saying like your food has to be bland, but at the same time you want to avoid like proper spicing it up here or there because you like, you know, little dab of oil here, dab of olive oil here, like it all adds up and you're gonna end up having a greasy meal. So even though Omar's food is proper amazing, like I would say in terms of like if you're trying to lose weight and whatnot, it'd be difficult to utilize it for.
I don't know, man. He's really health conscious with how he cooks it. The thing is,
I don't know. It
you
just
have
it looks too good to be.
Do you know what it is, bro?
Have no oil in it.
No, bro. Bro, do you know how much he suffers with his diet? Like
Yeah.
he has like issues with his stomach. He has
He did
issues
tell
with
me,
his health.
he did tell me, yeah. to
Bro,
be fair.
I think one of the reasons he started doing it is because bro, anytime Omar eats out, he gets ill. Yeah, most of the time. So he basically will go to a restaurant, he'll see something that's nice and he'll go and do it himself. And that's how it started. And so all of his stuff hardly has any dairy in it because he dairy's not great for him.
As long as like a lot of people use oil, as long as the oil's low.
Yeah, I think his oil is generally low.
Yeah.
I think his
then
oil
it
is
should be
generally
alright
low.
then, inshallah.
Yeah, he's quite good. He's good with that stuff, man. He's good with that stuff.
So what happened with you, man, in your training? Omar told me the other day, yeah, he came to train legs.
Yeah.
He said you were at home or something,
Yeah,
and it was like 3:00,
that sounds accurate.
and he was like, "Bro, I'm gonna go train legs. Come," and he didn't come.
That sounds very accurate.
Fam, it's
Yeah.
not good, bro.
Bro, I've fallen off gym completely.
Health is
Wealth.
thank you.
The thing, the tough thing about it is I quit that gym because it was so far from me,
Yeah.
and another gym opened up in my area
Yeah.
that was like had all of the equipment and everything. So I was like, alright, cool, this is perfect, ideal. But bro, training without a gym partner for me,
Yeah, but you can come
it
with
sucks.
Omar.
I know, but do you know how far that is, bro?
You need to move to the ends, bro.
That's a 40-45 minute drive for me
Yeah,
every
fair
time. I used to do it, bro. I know. So it is about me just making excuses.
That's what you do, bro.
But the
Just making
ideal
excuses.
scenario for me is to find a gym partner in my gym, and then I can stay consistent. I do miss a lot of it, and I'm training here and there, but I'm not doing anywhere as near as when I was training with you lot.
So tell me this
it's
then.
tough.
I'm asking you questions now, yeah?
Go ahead.
What's your goal this Ramadan?
Fitness wise,
No, generally.
what like just any goals?
Ibadah wise.
Okay. I want to.
I think it's very important for us to like
very important set
really
goals. Yeah.
ask these things because like a lot of the time it's like, especially with me, it's like it's always like, oh, fitness this, fitness that. Like it's very important. Like since Ramadan's just round the corner, besides putting fitness to the side for a bit, like it's important for us to set goals for Ramadan because a lot of us like, it's like you should always reflect back. You'd be like, from one Ramadan to the next one, what have I achieved? Do you see what I mean in terms of what have I achieved to get close to Allah? Like a lot of us, like, yeah, fitness wise, like if you're on it, you're gonna do amazing things. But ibadah wise, the state that we're in 2019 in the West, it's like you look. If you actually reflect back, you'd be like, from 2018 Ramadan to 2019 Ramadan, what have I done? And it's like we should always try and set ourselves goals, man. And one for me is just literally try and memorize more Quran. Like it's so important, man. Because I always think about, is it the hadith that in Al-Qiyamah where Allah will say, start reciting. Or is it? I don't know if it's Allah or one of the angels say, start reciting. And the more you can recite from heart, the more you're elevated in status. And imagine, subhanAllah, you haven't memorized much. Well, you're just going to stop there. Like, subhanAllah, it's kind of sad. And imagine you see around you, everyone's elevating.
That's true.
And you're just there. Like, that's like, it's indescribable, that feeling. Like, I can't even put myself in in them shoes at the moment. And like, yeah, man. It's mad.
You're right. The month of Ramadan is the month of the Quran. So for me personally, goals wise, will be to complete reading the Quran, like as in like start to finish, memorization. And I think but they say that even when it comes to Ramadan, you get more reward for reading, just reciting the Quran. So I'm gonna try and read it as much as possible. And
subhanAllah, look at the beauty of Islam. Like the one that struggles, has more reward than the one that's like fluently reading. SubhanAllah,
it's true.
So yeah, man. So you wanna
read as much as possible.
Read as much as possible and memorize as well.
Yeah, but I think that the focus will be on reading the Quran.
Okay,
just reading it, reciting it.
I really want to memorize more because I always just think about that. Is it hadith? I'm not sure. But yeah.
Yeah, I believe it is. I've heard of that one. Yeah. But again, we'll get it checked.
Get it checked, yes, of course.
Bro, what you were talking about memorizing the Quran, I remember one of our teachers was basically saying about how many levels there are to like even being a person of the Quran. Like just memorizing the Quran is like first step.
Okay.
It's not even like it's mad because memorizing the Quran and then having the Quran in your heart is two different things. First of all, memorizing it. Second of all, memorizing it and understanding it and being able to understand and contemplate on it. And also, there's memorizing the Quran, but then there's having the Quran in your heart to the point where you can just like pick it out like the ayah and you can know exactly where it is. If you're with Ustad Ajmal, you're like, what's that ayah, bro? Best know he can in his head place where in the Quran it is, which side of the Quran it's on, where on the page it is, and he can see the actual like page. Like that is levels.
We were at a gathering not too long ago, and he was mentioning the 3 levels to when the Quran is really like has an impact on you. And I can't remember the first 2 levels, but then the 3rd level, I believe what he said was when your body just gets goosebumps.
Wow.
Like when you listen to the Quran and if your body gets, I think that was, like forgive me if I'm wrong here, because I don't want to quote him wrong, but from what I remember that he said was like the highest level is when you're hearing the Quran and your body gets like goosebumps and something else.
Maybe tears or something.
I can't remember. I think that could be one of them. It could have been something like that, but I vividly remember goosebumps. And then I remember asking him, I said, what about if you don't have the first 2 and you just have the 3rd? Does that mean you're already on level 3? And he was like, yeah, it means you're on level 3. I was like, okay, cool. And then, so yeah, that really stuck with me. You mentioned that not too long ago at gathering. So yeah, man.
Yeah, he has a cool way of putting things.
Yeah.
He just did a class yesterday at East London Mosque.
The Quran.
They completed
Live
the Quran.
The Quran, yeah.
I don't know how long they were doing it for, but there was quite a few people there, weren't there?
No, I saw the little snaps, mashallah.
Yeah, it's a shame that they're not going to be at the event.
I know he's traveling a lot.
Yeah, he travels a lot, and also Badr are doing a Umrah trip around that time, so a lot of the people from Badr are not going to be there.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, we weren't aware of those.
Well, we hope to see everyone else there.
Yeah,
it's going to be good.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. I know it's very much so possible that the event has happened now because this podcast may come out straight after. But if it has not, it's a shame because we're on episode 98. We shot episode 98, so the next episode is 99. So we can't even put 2 episodes out this week because then that will be out episode 100.
Oh, you can't. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, we have to release episode 100 on episode 100.
Of course.
That's why, bro. That's why we have to time it. Do you know what's mad, bro? Alhamdulillah, the way episode 100 worked. It goes to show, like, you know, sometimes things happen and then you contemplate about how everything was written before we were alive.
Yeah.
This is me having one of those moments right now, yeah? That Allah wrote everything before we were alive. And so even when we had the idea of Freshly Grounded, Allah wrote that episode 100 is going to fall on the day where it's going to fall, which is 20th April, yeah?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying you didn't have to, like, delay some weeks or... So you're saying you still released... accordingly, like weekly,
Right.
and it just fell
on this day, right?
Yeah,
But my point is, bro, that there was times like 2 years ago when we started Freshly Grounded where Sam couldn't make an episode and we missed that week.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah.
But 2 years ago we had no idea that we was even gonna make it to episode 100. So even then, Allah knew that it was best for us to miss that week because for some reason it's best for us to fall on this day. And coincidentally, it's fallen like days, bro, away from Ramadan. Like 20th of April and then 5th of May is Ramadan. So we're talking 2 weeks.
Mashallah.
So our event is 2 weeks before Ramadan, which is perfect because it allows you to talk. But it allows you to talk about. People are gonna no doubt be asking questions about Ramadan and all this kind of stuff. It's a perfect time for the event.
Yeah, it's true. Even
but Allah knew that.
I remember years ago when we did that little. It wasn't even that little. Mashallah, it was a good turnout. The one in the school
Enlight. Was it Enlight? Enlight. Yeah. Was it Enlight or Enlighten? Enlight.
In the lecture hall, in the lecture theatre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were non-Muslim. You were the only non-Muslim in the room that time. And I remember because someone spoke and was like, "Was Muslim Bilal?"
Who's Muslim in the room? Where are they from?
And then he said, "Is there any non-Muslims?" And only you were the non-Muslim.
Yeah. And so basically, in that event, I remember even then I don't think it was anywhere near Ramadan. A lot of people were asking questions about Ramadan. Even then, I remember. When was that? Was that near Ramadan? It could have been in Ramadan.
No, but that was in Ramadan.
Was that in Ramadan?
Yeah. After that event, I was like, I'm never doing. After that event, I was like, I'm never doing an event in Ramadan again.
Why?
It's so difficult, bro. Because you have.
Bro, I'm just laughing at what I said. So legit, that was why there was so many
Yeah.
questions
It was
in Ramadan.
It was Ramadan. Yeah, imagine. That's why, bro.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Bro, it was so difficult to do that event in Ramadan. First of all, bro, I can't even go into it. There's so much. So
why? What was wrong with doing an event in Ramadan? Why?
Okay, so first of all, you have
You're
to think
hungry.
about this. Everyone's hungry, yeah. So if you do it during the day,
But
everyone's
the day flew by. It was
no, but if you
calm.
do it during the day, everyone's hungry. So everyone's temper is shorter. It's more. But running an event is so stressful anyway that when you can't have food or drink during it, bro, I had to manage that whole. I had to run the event without food or water.
I remember I wasn't even thirsty. Like, I'm more
Yeah,
thirsty
because you
now.
weren't running around. You were sitting down just doing your thing, bro.
I'm getting thirsty now, though. I'm saying then I was calm.
Bro, so there was that first of all, and even the people who are in the audience, bro, they will have less patience because they like as the day's going on, they're getting headaches, they're thirsty, they're hungry.
Well, we had bare questions that day.
That's true,
was
but now
mad.
then imagine what it's gonna be like next week, inshallah.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying? Because
guys, keep the questions easy, yeah? Nothing crazy.
bro, that's one aspect, yeah.
Yeah.
But then you could say, okay, then do the event in the evening like, once people have eaten. The problem with that is, like, the nights are so short in Ramadan that it would have to be such a short event.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So then the ideal,
yeah.
and then also people want to go to Tarawih and stuff. So then the ideal solution really is to do an event that's
I didn't
like
think about that.
where you do
That's so
iftar in the
true.
middle.
Yeah.
You know, like an event where
Like a
2 hours
break.
before, 2
Yeah,
hours,
yeah.
and but then you have to feed
That's
like
long.
500
Yeah.
people.
That'd be too hard to manage.
And that first of all, it's hard to manage. Second of all,
Yeah.
it's extremely expensive.
So where are
Unless
we
you charge
eating?
everyone. Huh?
Where are we eating?
Okay, so for this event, we got catering for the speakers
Okay.
and the volunteers, but there's not like catering provided for the event.
African food.
It's provided by Zaha.
Serious.
It's Zaha food.
What?
Only's restaurant.
Ah, sick.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm such a bad friend. I haven't even been once.
You are a bad friend.
Nah, seriously, bro.
You're a very bad friend. Strong
ain't
Believers
been-
has been like 100
Yeah, but
times.
his office is right near near
Doesn't
it.
matter.
I know. I haven't even been once.
I'm a bad friend. I've been maybe like a handful of times, but I'm not close either.
Bro, I haven't been once.
Yeah, you need to go.
Alhamdulillah, I'm so happy he's catering for it. Then.
Yeah, but the food that they're catering for the event is like different to the food that they have in their store.
Is
Well,
it better?
because it's still it's not better or worse. It's still good food, but it's not like because the style there is different.
Okay.
You should still go. Is my point.
No, I'll go. Inshallah. Definitely. I'll go with Noor.
Yeah, but but the people who for the guests, the audience,
Yeah.
there's a bar,
A what?
a bar,
What do you mean?
like a bar where you can buy things,
Oh, okay,
like
cool.
drinks, cold
Non-alcoholic,
snacks. Yeah, there's no alcohol.
Obviously.
Yeah, I
It's just the way he said bar. I'm like, what? What do you
Yeah, I
mean?
spoke to the venue and I said, I was like, I've made it sure so many times. I was like, make sure there's no alcohol, no alcohol, no alcohol.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, non-alcoholic bar. So it'll be like soft drinks.
Make sure there's no
waters.
alcohol in the cabinets or anything. But you know what? It's difference of opinion on that. As long as it's not on your table, innit?
Oh, really?
But some people fully like.
No,
Scholars-
there's no. It's not a bar like that.
Ah,
It's like
good.
it's like a.
Is it made like a?
Nah, it's not like a. It's not like an actual bar like a bar you'd go into.
Oh, okay, good.
It's like You know when you go to the theatre, for example, and there's a bar.
I don't know what you mean.
There's like a.
Nate, do you have any idea what he's talking about?
Nah, it's like an actual
like a transportable one.
No, it's like a.
Bar's just the generic name for signing of drinks.
No, it's not like a. It's like a. It's like a ledge. And
okay.
Someone has to be on the other side, but there's no drinks around and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
But they can, but whoever the caterer is for that venue comes, and they. So I said just bring soft drinks and cold snacks. So
perfect.
I don't.
Non-alcoholic bar.
It's a non-alcoholic bar. That's exactly what it is.
So,
but there's a minimum spend.
Yeah.
And if they don't, if our audience doesn't spend the minimum spend, then we have to pay for it.
All right, then, guys. Please don't eat much and buy some big meals.
But it's just cold snacks. I'm hoping that people buy a lot of drinks because the minimum spend is £500.
Why doesn't Amigos? Why doesn't Amigos?
Imagine.
Amigos bring some burgers.
No, we can't have catering. Yeah, the venue doesn't allow it.
Why? What? Because we're gonna make a mess.
No, you just have to use all venues like this, bro. You have to use their caterers.
That's dead.
Almost all venues like that. Yeah. So you have to use that. But otherwise, I would have done Zaha like for everyone. I just would put up a stall or something. But no, they don't allow it.
So Zaha's doing cold snacks.
No, Zaha's doing hot food,
Yeah.
but it's just for the speakers and for the staff.
Oh,
it's not
okay.
paid for. Like you guys, it's just given, right? And so because they're not selling it,
I got you.
it's fine.
All right, cool.
Or we will have to try and sneak it in some way.
Sneak in some burgers.
Yeah, but we can't sell food there.
Okay, I got you. It's gonna be a cheat day for me.
Yeah, they can't tell us we can't feed our staff.
Yeah, of course.
If they do, that might be a bit difficult. But we'll bring it in some way.
No, I'm probably looking forward to it, man. Are you excited?
I was so excited, bro. Obviously,
when did you decide that you were gonna do a live episode?
So
what episode were you in?
Bro, literally from episode 1, it was our dream to do our 100 episode
so you actually
live.
okay?
We
so
always
you
wanted to, but it was never like set in stone. And then in like December or January, we were like, look, let's do this.
Yeah.
And well, we announced it in January, and literally for the last 3 or 4 months, we've just been going at it, like just preparing this episode.
Now make it a success, bro.
I mean,
you know what? I was speaking to a few. Now I'm gonna kind of praise you now, yeah. But even though it's not good, I'm kind of contradicting what I've been saying the whole time.
I'd have to not accept any of it.
Okay, but mashallah, I truly believe, yeah, you paved the way for a lot of these young people to start podcasts. Because I think you were one of the first people, especially like in the. Okay, maybe I might be wrong here, yeah, but from what I can recall, ever since you've been doing it, I've seen a lot of podcasts come up now, like from people in the same kind of industry and whatnot, and like, look, the fact that you've done this, like, has anyone done a live podcast episode before?
Yeah, loads, man. How I Built This, Tim Ferriss, they do live episodes, yeah.
Yeah? No, but has anyone like kind of like in the UK?
The thing is, we're calling this live podcast episode, but it's more of a show, bro, because a live podcast episode would be you guys all sat there and we're just doing like this, but with audience. But we're not doing that. We're putting
I truly think you've inspired a lot of people to start doing podcasts as well.
Bro, do you know what it is? I don't think I inspired a lot of people. I think I have no part to play in that. I think
so you're quite good. See, you can take it different. I struggle to take. You see, it's good. You see how he just replied to me. I wish I could reply like that.
No, this would be genuine, bro.
No, but I'm not saying you're not being genuine. It's genuine, but I'm saying you're good at. You know how to respond. I don't know how to respond.
I think what it is this. Yeah, I don't think that we predicted. I don't think we paved the way at all. I think what we did. This is what we did, bro. In any industry or field. It's a game of predicting the market. It's a game of fashion, isn't it? So you see people who are in fashion, they pay agencies to go to catwalks to see what's going to be in fashion over the next season, and then they create things like that.
So what did you do?
Right. So what they're doing is they're predicting the market, right? Okay. And so there's agencies, there's people who pay thousands of pounds to agencies to predict the market in all sorts of fields, not just in fashion. So who'd you pay? No, so we didn't pay anyone. I couldn't afford that. But my point is that we that because in any game, in any industry, the game is to predict the market. Okay. All we did is we predicted the market. It's because we and even that was from Allah, bro, in the sense that the way Allah timed for me to start practicing, and then when I started practicing, I didn't want to listen to music. So in not listening to music, I jumped on podcasts, and then that would just happen to be the same time. The podcasts were getting massive. Like I was listening to one podcast, and all of a sudden, there's another podcast, a whole new show available that I love, and another, and this was all in America. And I was thinking, wow, podcasts are getting big, man. And I was thinking, you know what? I predict that they're gonna get huge in the UK too.
Is it still growing all over the world?
bro, like the speed of lightning.
What is it? One of the fastest growing things right now.
It's huge. I had the stats on it because I pitched. I created a pitch for someone, and I put all the numbers for podcasting. It was insane, but I just thought, you know what? It's gonna be. There's no doubt that how big it is, because it's been big in America for a few years now.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking,
I know there's a lot of big American ones.
Yeah. So I was like, there's no doubt there's going to be a
UK,
huge one. It wasn't big in the UK.
That's
at
what
all.
I'm saying.
Yeah. Other than like BBC had like one, but it's more like just radio, bro. So I just thought, you know what, they're going to get big, so let's try and jump on it first, because that's what you always have to do. To be successful in many things, you just have to be the first.
Yeah.
And then it's about maintenance. It's also about quality and stuff like that. But so
I think I think more so is, I'd say, maintenance. Quality. It's quality, 100%.
it is quality, and money helps, because when people throw money at things, it helps. But if you don't have the luxury of having thousands of pounds that we didn't, and if you don't, I literally spent like my last 750. I didn't even that like I spent 750 pounds on equipment when we first started, and that I couldn't even afford. Like it wasn't like that's my last 750. I just couldn't afford it, and I've told the story in like seminars and everything, and I mentioned that I spent that money on Amazon, and I came upstairs and I said to my mum, I've either just made the best decision or the worst decision ever, because
I remember you telling me a story years ago.
I needed that 750 to pay for my wedding.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's what it was. And so it was around my wedding time. I was broke, man, and I spent that money on podcast equipment, and so alhamdulillah, I paid itself off. My point is though, bro, is that a lot of if you don't have money and you don't have great quality, then the only option you have is to be first.
You gotta just believe in your vision as well.
Yeah, you have to believe in your vision.
You have to believe in your vision, 100%. And that goes in all aspects of life, especially like when it comes to like dunya stuff. You just have to really believe in what you're doing is gonna work, and it won't happen if you just sit down. You have to actually just try and
definitely, man.
Perseverance and be persistent, and just that's it, man. Yeah.
I think that's a good. I think that if we kind of refer back to the fitness scene, because of obviously that's the industry that you're in.
Yeah.
The one thing I did notice that when I started training at the gym, it created a great like analogy for me of life, in that I would train with you, and the more I would train, the more I would see the benefits of it. Like, and that sounds like such a silly thing to say because it's obvious. But I never in my life have I like done something and then seen a result, and then done it more and then seen a result, and it's getting better and better and better. I'm like, this is literally like an analogy of life. Like, as long as you're consistent on if you use this formula on anything,
you get back what you put in.
Right, what is it? Always. Determination, discipline, consistency, all of these kind of things. Determination, consistency, discipline. When you use that formula on anything, you will just genuinely get better at it. If you're spending 100 hours a week on the PlayStation playing FIFA, bro, and you're consistent and you're disciplined, you're gonna be sick of FIFA.
That's like the other. Is it an analogy where you say basically in a tree, it bears its fruits as the last thing. So
I've not heard that, but that makes sense.
So it's growing, and then the last thing it gets in the year or whatever is the fruits. So that's all the struggle, and then finally it's the fruits.
Well, that's what bearing the fruits of your labour means.
Yeah, that's what it basically means.
I've never understood that. Wow.
So that's what. There you go. I dropped a little gem. I
don't think that's a gem. I think everyone in the world knew that apart from me.
Oh no, it's not from me. The gem isn't from me. I'm just saying I dropped a little gem.
No, I know. But that's. But I feel
didn't
that's
know that.
Everyone knew, but I didn't know.
That's quite an obvious.
I feel like a dumb person now. Yeah, bearing the fruits of your labour. I even say, like, sometimes I'm in conversations with someone, I'm like, you're bearing the fruits of your labour.
But it's literal. Like the tree, the fruits come last.
Yeah. I have a really big apple tree in my garden, and we never use the apples from it. That's a real shame, isn't it?
It's a big shame.
But it was just there when we got the house years ago. It was a massive apple tree in the garden.
Mad.
Oh no, actually, I think we've cut it down. I can't remember if I got a tree in my garden. That makes it sound like a really big garden. We don't, but I just never go in it.
My dad, she destroyed my garden. He thought it was a garden. He went and chopped all the nice little fruit trees. And this season, no fruits. Because do you normally get fruits? There's a lot to it. You can't just cut any part. You got to know where. Yeah, you got to know where to cut it from. And I didn't even know it was that deep. And
what's that? Cutting what?
When you actually like want to fix up a tree. Pruning. That's the one. You can't just cut it and think, it's getting
so
too
he
big.
did it unintentionally.
Yeah, he thought he knew what he was doing.
No.
And he just messed it all up. And this year, literally, there's like no fruits.
Have you seen Abdul Hakim's, like, sometimes he posts on his story, I don't know if it's his house or his mum's house or whatever, but they have like they grow like mint leaves and parsley and all sorts.
I just got bare fruits in my garden.
My family back in Pakistan are vegetable farmers.
Okay. Oh wow.
And so when I went back to
Proper
Pakistan,
organic.
when I went back to Pakistan about 2 years ago, or a year, about 2 years ago now, that was my first time in Pakistan, really. Like, I went when I was like maybe 5, but I don't remember it. And they showed me, bro, and they just got like fields of like lettuce and stuff. I don't know.
So tell me this, yeah. Back to the.
I didn't know what to do with it either. I was like, they were like showing me, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Back to the live podcast,
I
inshallah.
wonder how
Yeah.
they water them. Yeah, go on.
So, I was told,
Yeah.
I think it was from Omar,
Uh-huh.
that you're gonna kind of surprise the guests with certain things. So you already told me one of them.
Yes.
Can you hint what you're gonna make me lats do?
Well, I didn't plan yours and that's my honest thing. I haven't planned yours and that's, and
let's leave it at that then.
I hadn't planned yours and oh no, I did have planned yours and that's planned. Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I know what you're doing. Yeah, no, I can't tell you what you're doing.
Is it gonna be like? Is it something on the spot kind of thing, or is it like a?
I can't tell you. Yeah, the only person who I don't have planned is Jibril's because that's a hard person to do it for. So I told you Muslim Bilal's. That's gonna be really fun. I think I explained to you very fast, but
Nah, MB's one is
Yeah.
MB was really good, but it's gonna be fun. But it's
I think
also
I
him
think
on the
that
spot.
I think it's gonna be challenging for him,
Yeah.
and I think that it's gonna make a lot of people laugh. The one for I'll tell you the one for I can't because I'll be telling everyone.
Depends when you release the episode.
Okay, I'll tell you the one for Omar. I'll tell you one for me and Omar when Omar Josh come because to be honest, Omar doesn't listen to Freshly Ground anyway probably. But basically, what it is it's gonna be so Omar and Josh are coming onto the stage and they're gonna ask questions about business.
Okay.
And so while Omar and Josh are on the stage, we're going to do a competition. So me and Omar versus Sam and Josh, because Sam and Josh are business partners.
Okay, and you two are.
I mean, my brother. So
Yeah, yeah.
they've been business partners for years,
Okay.
and so they know each other like so well. I mean,
So how well you
it's
know
about
each
how
other.
well, yeah. But basically,
cool.
yeah. But like we've got like these like cards that say like Omar and Sam and Face. We've got name cards and like
Okay.
you're wearing blindfold, so you can't see what the other person's
That's pretty sick.
thing. And I just ordered custom Freshly Ground blindfolds for it.
So fair extra, bro.
And it's very extra. So basically, like when we're standing in the crowd, and then they'll say like who, but it's not who knows each other best, but it's like what would the other person answer. So a question, an example of a question would be like, let's say for example it's Ajmal Lats. An example would be who is not like who is who not like who has a stronger deadlift because you know that you actually know the answer.
Okay.
So it's not questions like that.
Okay.
It's questions like out of you and Lats who cares more about like what people would think or whatever.
Okay, I got
like,
you. You'll figure something.
That's a rubbish example.
I got you.
A better example is who's the better driver.
Yeah.
Because that's
well, I've won go-karting more,
What's the word?
but that's not the same as driving.
Not summer.
No, it's subjective.
Yeah.
So I have to now think if I get asked who's better driving your Omar, I have to think what is Omar going to answer. He has to think what his Faisal going to answer, and it has to match.
I see.
And that's when you get the point.
I
Yeah.
got you. So we got to kind of work together, but not work. Without
You got to think
directly
like,
working together.
Yeah. So but there'll be like probably like cheeky questions in there. Like for example,
Got you.
who is better at? Yeah, something that you both probably think that you're better at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool because it kind of goes down the line of like kind of honesty as well.
Yeah, but you have to. So for example,
So it's like-
I'll give you one questions for Sam and Josh. One of the questions for Sam and Josh is
It's going to be bad if you say they're complete opposite.
one of the questions for Sam and Josh is something like, if there was a scenario where, oh no, I think it's something like who can cut. I think one of them is like who can cut better hair.
That's they're quite.
So they have to,
sensitive.
and they're both
quite
at the,
sensitive
they're both at the top of they're both at the top of their game. So like it'll be,
It's like saying, like me, lads, who's the better personal trader?
because if they try,
But
and
I
be-
would never
the
know.
thing
You
is,
can never answer that
if
question.
they try and be humble about it, they're gonna
Yeah.
lose because Josh will say Sam and Sam will say Josh.
Yeah.
So they have to try and think like, all right, let me not try and be humble. Who actually is the better one, or what would the other person say? So it might. So Josh might have to say, all right, look, I want to say Sam, but I feel like Sam's going to say Josh, so I'm going to say Josh. So they'll both say Josh, but then Josh will look like, bro, you're saying you're better. So that's what will be fun about it.
Okay, that'll be good, inshallah.
Yeah, so there's different
good.
things like that. So and then you obviously know the one with Muslim Bilal stuff. So we're
probably
trying to
look
create
forward
like
to it,
little
man.
entertaining bits. Yeah, there's gonna be
Inshallah,
spoken
be good.
poetry. There's a lot of things happening on the event that haven't been advertised basically. Yeah, so it'll be fun. Inshallah, there's a lot of spoken word artists that are performing, and a lot of them are.
Oh,
like,
they're not on the they're not on the.
they're not on the
panel.
poster and not on the panel,
okay. I didn't know that.
and some of them are completely unknown. Not completely unknown. Stuff like I want to say like,
Are there any
no one
special
knows it.
guests?
Maybe, but the spoken word artists. So some of the spoken word artists are like when I say unknown, I don't mean like they're just like not in a derogatory way, but for example, they might be like more underground on the scene,
Or
like upcoming.
Yeah.
That people haven't heard, but I love their work, so we wanted to give them a platform. So there's a few things
Inshallah,
there.
that's good, man.
We're making a few announcements. So Freshly Grounded is changing up a bit, making some announcements. So there's a few big things. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Nate doesn't even know.
A lot of it is like very top secret.
Sick.
Inshallah.
I kind of feel like you should have got, I think we could have filled out a bigger stadium.
Yeah, people are saying that. No, it was our first event. I didn't know. Originally, the theatre that we had almost booked was 230 people theatre. That would have been really bad.
Because when was it sold out?
It got sold out like a month.
That's
Yeah, a month
that's what I'm
before the
saying,
show.
man.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like in terms of like the people on the panel, they haven't really, like me personally, I'm a bit. Because I was gonna promote it,
Yeah, but it
and
sold
then
out.
you were like, "Oh, it's sold out," and I was like, "Okay, do I still have to? Shall I promote it?"
We
Like,
probably could go for like 1,000 man theatre maybe.
inshallah next time.
Yeah, inshallah.
Yeah.
But I really like the venue, so it was like, because we decided that was probably best if we go for about 600. I think we were gonna go for about 500-600 in the end. But then I found this venue and I fell in love with it, and it's 400. So I was like, you know what? I'd rather have a venue that I really
That's
love.
a nicer venue.
Yeah.
King's Cross, right?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be good.
We're
man.
really not making a lot of money off of this event at all. It wasn't a money making event. It was a celebratory event where we enjoyed
made
it.
to
So
100.
I don't want to like blow like my own trumpet because I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
it's not me who did all of this. Do you know what I mean? I do want to make that clear. Like I'm not.
There's a lot of people behind the scenes.
There's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people
But I'm
behind the
very
scenes.
excited about it because and do you know what? I feel a lot more comfortable promoting something like this because it's separate from Faisal Chowdhury. It's Freshly Grounded, the brand.
Yeah.
There's something that's very uncomfortable about promoting yourself all the time, and that's why I've recently slowed down on even posting my own social media because I feel
I was gonna ask you that. You hardly post on your social media.
something feels wrong for some reason. Recently, I have felt wrong about me just constantly promoting myself or my brand, but I see the advantage in it. There's so much advantage in it, and especially for someone like you, bro. That's your business, that's your work.
Yeah.
But if I'm
I
able
need to do more informative stuff.
If
I
I'm-
feel like on my
yeah.
own, like because at the moment it's like a picture here and there, and there's like an exercise. I've done it a few times where I've done a video and I've proper shown like the benefits of it, how to do the form, and a lot of people have commented they're like, bro, can you do more posts like these? And I really should I think I should have a structure and like because at the end of the day you're on a platform, you want to give back to people that are following you.
Of
so,
course.
And it's just free advice. Like who
and now you got Leonine, it will help with that because
man.
promoting
Do you
Freshly
like the name?
Grounded feels so much cleaner for me.
Do you like the name?
I love the name. Promoting Freshly Grounded feels so much cleaner for me because it's a brand and it's not me. And Freshly Grounded, inshallah, will live on when I die. Faisal Chowdhury brand won't live on once I die. Just like you, Leonine can now live on, and then you're promoting a good message. And
to be fair, like this is the thing, like for people that are listening, like inshallah, like at the moment it's just me and Lats, okay? But inshallah, like we would like to have like we would sponsor or we would like bring on board young fitness enthusiasts that are looking to take it proper seriously to be part of Leonine.
bro, 100%. That's how you
So,
grow, man.
yeah, man.
You want to create
For
something
sure.
that lives longer than you. Do you know what I mean?
Soon,
That has
like,
clear in it.
soon, like there'll be maybe applications or whatever you want to do, like just for people that want to join, and there'll be a lot of benefits to it as well, inshallah.
If you open up the application process too soon, too quick, there will be like a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm trying to think when we would do it though. Slow and steady, stepping stones, man. You gotta walk before you can run, then we'll fly.
Yeah,
Inshallah.
that's exciting though. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's very exciting. It's nice, man. It's nice to be able to push stuff out. And again, it helps Islamically for us to reduce our ego when we're pushing out something that's a bit separate from us.
Yeah.
And another reason like I get so much satisfaction in promoting Freshly Grounded is because I know people don't listen to Freshly Grounded for me. They listen because they're interested in the guest. And I love that because
No, but obviously the host plays a big part in it as well. Trust me.
but we
'Cause it's the
we
host
create
that
a platform.
engages in the conversation
Right.
and asks the right stuff and
But we're creating a platform so that we can find out more about our guests and stuff like that.
of course.
And that feels a lot cleaner than me sitting in front of a camera and saying this is what I did now and this is what I'm doing tomorrow. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. 100%.
And Leo, I think that Leonine will be a good stepping stone in that regard
We're
as well.
thinking
because
even doing a fitness podcast.
but of course,
Inspired by
Of
yours
course.
truly, or you.
but stuff
Do you know
like
what I mean? Like it could be a fitness podcast as well, like once a week. Maybe.
well,
just
I would
like-
listen to it because that doesn't exist in the Muslim
Yeah.
scene.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
Maybe like it's just
Definitely,
and
bro.
you can invite a lot of fitness people on the show and whatnot. And
But you should do it. You should do it. Comment below on the video if you want to see the fitness
The
podcast,
fitness
the
podcast.
Leonine podcast.
Leonine podcast.
But I would jump on it, man. Just jump on it. Like as soon as you can, just jump on it.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Just don't want to juggle too many things. At one
That's
go.
true as
Do you know
well.
what I mean?
I mean,
Like,
I'm just getting excited
Yeah,
now.
you're
For
getting
the
excited.
I am.
So
Me and you are opposite. Like, you're very calculated. I'm very. I run everything off
No, but you
emotions.
got to take risks. It's good to take risks. What do they say? You learn the most when you jump in the deep end.
Well, I know we mentioned it in the podcast before, but you took the biggest risk of your whole life when you left your
When I left.
extremely satisfying job, which was financially
Yeah, but
extremely secure, and you left it all to
it
chase your
wasn't
dreams.
quality-wise. It wasn't, man.
Yeah.
Quality of life was terrible. That's why. And alhamdulillah, like slowly, I'm
Alhamdulillah.
slowly seeing. I still haven't seen the fruits,
Yeah.
but
The
alhamdulillah,
fruits of your
like,
labour.
yeah, I still haven't seen the fruits of my labor, but it's coming, inshallah.
Do you ever regret that decision, leaving your job?
Nah, no way. Because you know what is, subhanAllah, you know one thing that's really helped me in terms of like being very content in life is the fact that your risk is predetermined. Like you don't just sit on your butt and not do anything. Yeah, you still work for it, but the fact that everything is predetermined, you can't be upset about it. Like there's no point in being upset. And on top of that, like Allah is also protecting you in the sense that if you know with money there comes more fitna. Yeah. So like some people, Allah, if you're not being financially stable, yeah, money wise, yeah, that could be Allah protecting you because He knows what you're like. He knows anything that happens from any path you take. So if you're not gonna, that could be a way of Allah protecting your akhirah because He knows if He makes this person rich, he's gonna fall off.
Yeah, He knows you better than you know yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is like, yes, we're all gonna strive to do things in a halal way and inshallah be very successful from it. But like, when you think back that risk is predetermined and Allah will never burden a soul beyond what it can bear, bro, man, your heart is just at ease and you just live your life and just try and be happy and just do things the right way, man. And that's how I literally live by lately, last few years, man.
Do you take vitamins?
No.
Sorry, I know that's your favorite, but I was just thinking about that. I was going to be honest.
Vitamins, I should really, but I don't take anything really. The only supplements I take is BCAAs, creatine and glutamine.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
No, but I was interested in what you were saying before, but
Yeah.
it just came.
Wow. I actually thought I was.
I know, you spilled your heart out to
I
me.
thought I was just
That's
like
such a bad
saying something
host.
quite good.
Yeah, that's going to come in the
And
comments.
then my man just dropped. Do you take vitamins? I remember
Faisal
that.
was so rude. He doesn't listen to
I
the
hope, I hope people
guest.
comment that, you know, and we're like, bro, that was rude, mate.
For minor stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
I think I've had every inch of my personality analysed on YouTube comments now. Ajmal, Jazakallah khair for coming to the podcast.
Yeah,
Before we finish up,
Mm.
this is probably going to be the last time we're going to have you on here before Ramadan.
Mhm.
So we started the conversation with it. I'd love to end with it because
Yeah.
I think that one of the things that people who are listening who would be most interested in having a podcast with you
Yeah.
is hearing the benefits that you can give them
Mm.
with regards to diet and
Yeah.
training in Ramadan, because I think maybe you take it for granted because you are you and you have
Yeah,
access
yeah,
to your
yeah,
knowledge,
of
but
course.
people don't have that, man. Like people don't have access to someone who really has been training for over 10 years,
Yeah.
who has been a Muslim that whole time. So you've gone through countless Ramadans trying to be at the best at the top of your game
Yeah.
in the fitness world, and so that's probably one of the most
What people would wanna
beneficial
know.
things that we can take
for sure.
from you. So
In a few words.
yeah, go on.
So basically, look, the main thing I would say for both brothers and sisters that are really conscious about their health and fitness, yeah, in this month, really try and be conscious of what you eat. Honestly, like, stay active during the day as much as you can. But when it comes to iftar, like, don't forget, when you're fasting for these prolonged period of times, it's 18 hours for us now, your stomach shrinks. Yeah. So you can, in a way, for those that want to, for example, lose weight, you can use that to your advantage where you're gonna get full quicker. Yeah. So just make sure you consume good nutritious foods, stuff that have good slow releasing carbohydrates, for example. Yeah. Stuff that has sufficient protein to maintain your muscle mass, and then again you got fats for your natural health, like helps your brain function when you have enough fats, your omega-3s and whatnot, fish oils and whatnot. So it's just making sure you get the sufficient nutrients inside your system in this period, so that way you can function properly, you can still reach your goals, and inshallah just get through this month and you just come out of it feeling stronger, fitter and healthier.
What are the kind of foods that you would recommend for sahur?
Yeah, so again, for when it comes to sahur, you need to have, I would say, complex carbs, so slow releasing carbs. So a lot of things like porridge is amazing to have. Porridge, I would normally have porridge. Again, I'd have eggs. Eggs as well as my protein source and fat source. But for me personally, I would have just your complex or slow releasing. So porridge would be really good. Throw in some almonds. Almonds would be really good to get the fats in. And yeah, just like maybe scrambled eggs and whatnot. That'd be really good for you to have in for suhoor.
How do you tend to do your kind of like water intake? Because we have like a 5-6 hour window to take all of our, or like
I'm
a
just
7-8 hour
gonna-
window to take all of our water in.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, like, don't just down water, because again, your stomach's so small during this period that it's just going to fill up and you're going to feel bloated. Just take kind of like half a glass or a glass throughout that period. So have a glass of water with your during iftar, and then again maybe like an hour later. Just kind of just give yourself every hour have a glass of water. And what is it? I think there's like a universal amount. Was it 7 glasses of water a day?
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. And look, we've got 5 hours. Have about a glass and a bit every hour, and then you should cover that.
Also, people tend to have cheat days in their week, like normally outside Ramadan. Yeah. So let's say, for example, every Saturday, I'll have like a dessert or whatever. Or I'll let my house.
You can still do that.
Do you? So would you still recommend? Like, can someone stay on that in Ramadan?
Of course you can, because look, it's the same thing. Look, in terms of Ramadan, the only thing that's going to change between a regular month, is the fact that the window that you get to eat is less. If you're still going to be able to have, you still have that window to eat. You still got the time to train and whatnot. Yes, your energy levels are going to be less, but it's on how motivated you are as an individual to still get to the gym, to still get the workouts done, and just eat the sufficient amount. There is no reason.
Do you find that people fall off their diet in Ramadan because like every iftar there's desserts available after?
Yeah,
food,
100%. So it's what is it?
And you think, I haven't eaten all day. I'll have a milkshake.
Yeah, that's what it is. So that's why a lot of people fall off. It's just they don't have the discipline, and they got to really try their best to really get that discipline and just treat it as if it wasn't Ramadan in terms of like their diet and training. Like, yes, you're not going to be able to eat as much, maybe, because you got less time. But as long as you can eat sufficient amounts and stick to as if you were. Not as if it wasn't Ramadan, you will be fine and you actually make progress. Me personally, I'm able to even get stronger during Ramadan. Alhamdulillah, like I can still get big numbers and that's only because I'm just being consistent, and that's the key word. Just be consistent.
SubhanAllah.
Yeah, man. There's not much to it, man. I think people just really overcomplicate the whole fitness thing and this whole journey of getting healthy.
Last question: what about cardio in Ramadan?
Yeah, again, cardio, like I said, okay, do you know what? This is what I would recommend. I don't think I've ever said this before. If you want, so like an hour before or 45 minutes before, hopefully you can get home on time, freshen up, for iftar. But like, get your cardio in half an hour before you're about to.
Oh, so you just go home and drink your water?
Yeah, and then go home, break your fast, quickly shower and whatnot, break your fast, and then get on with your iftar, tarawih and whatnot, and just do it like that, man. Yeah, 100%. I say do cardio before you break your fast.
Bro, thank you so much for jumping on the podcast, man. It's really beneficial.
Proper like spontaneous, wasn't it?
Yeah, very spontaneous.
Mad.
Yeah, exactly. You just rolled through the office and we stuck you in the chair.
That's fine.
Thank you so much, Ajmal. And inshallah, we will see you. I'll see you very shortly. See you next week.
Inshallah.
Take care.
Wa alaikum salam.